Welcome to the Intuitive Teacup, my friends. These tarot readings are meant to motivate, empower, and inspire you. Please keep an open heart and an open mind as you watch these general readings, as some material will resonate and some might not. Do have faith it is serving someone out there, and take away only what resonates for you. Please release the rest. Feel free to book a personal reading with me if you would like something catered specifically to your inquiries and energy. That information is down below for you. You are responsible for all actions and decisions and the vibe that you bring to this channel. This is optional advice or guidance, and of course, you will always have free will. Check the box below for my social media links, the decks I use, and more information on this channel. Let's hop into your tarot reading. What's up, Aries? Happy February. Happy early Valentine's Day. Welcome to my channel. We are going to do a love and romance reading specifically. We're going to talk about how can you love yourself more? What do you positively contribute to relationships? Where are your sort of positive traits coming through? Where are you being acknowledged by the universe? Area of focus where you can grow, where you can develop more, where you can learn. And then last but not least, who or what is coming your way romantically. So this card's peeking out. I feel like I have to take it. All right, so defenses may be up. So maybe it's asking you to sort of relax a little bit. Maybe not always be standing guard, standing at attention. This to me is sometimes anticipating the attack or anticipating it's like you're already feeling someone maybe kind of calculating or planning a grand scheme. And I think it's like you're trying to get a pulse on them. For some of you, though, it feels unwarranted. Yeah, see, I think someone's coming through to flirt with you. And something about this, it gives you pause. Now, with the Page of Wands, it could be that it's not brand new. Maybe it's someone who's circling back around and you're kind of like, well, wait, why didn't things get off right the first time around? Why wasn't I good enough for you the first time around? So in which case, you have to trust your intuition. I'm just going to pull a card on that. The Fool. My deck is upside down. It could be something with a Virgo. It could be another Aries or an Aquarius is coming through real strong. A lot of fire, too. I don't know. I mean, I think the Fool could be a fresh start. It's possible. So there's two messages here. It's possible this person needed to take some time to think about their commitment, and they're going to make a love offer to you. Love that. Especially if they were tied up with family, specifically something regarding the mother. They could be circling back around to flirt with you because they're actually ready to be in a relationship now. There's also a message here, too, that they may enjoy you and want to be around you and converse with you, but maybe they're not looking to jump into anything committed. It could be that they value their independence, though this could be you too, Aries, and that they're coming at it with joy and lighthearted optimism and positivity, but they're not necessarily looking to be, like, exclusive yet. So, and I don't necessarily get player vibes from this. I don't. The Hermit is not like my sexy player card, right? This is like someone they're approaching love slowly, but there's no reason to be glass half empty about this. They're coming in like, hey, sorry I missed the connection earlier. What are you up to? Do you want to grab coffee? It feels like this could be a new start, but there's something about they're not taking it super seriously in terms of where it's going to be in a month or a year or 5 years. They're just kind of enjoying it for what it is. So that's the main message coming through. That was a little bonus, Aries. We didn't even get into your main spread. So let's go ahead and tap into Aries energy. Let's start off with this one. So how can Aries love themselves more? I actually don't want to use this deck. Should I use this deck? Yeah, I don't want to use this deck. I felt it. I felt the vibe. Let's see. Let's do this. Perfect. Came right out. Knight of Wands. I hate to use the word don't. I don't mean to tell you what to do, but you are being encouraged to capitalize, or however you want to say it, increase more of your creative energies into passions and projects that you feel are worth pursuing. Don't let relationships deter you from your main goals forward where there is a lot of passion. And I almost get this too as don't be afraid to I'm hearing the word lavish. It's almost like enjoy yourself, embrace your sexuality individually. You know what I mean, Aries. But there's something about make sure you have passion for yourself. Make sure you're putting your passion, your energy, your action into loving yourself more. And I am hearing the word like luxury. So making your life feel like it is amazing and gorgeous. And it's like, I know this is kind of cheesy, but it's like putting rose petals on the bed just for yourself, right? It's almost like because I'm worth it. Those L'Oreal commercials, but that's really what I'm getting. Honor your value, and whether you're single or married or this or that, make sure you're treating yourself like you are worth it. Because you do have a lot of love, you have a lot of creativity, you have a lot of passion. I'm hearing it like falling on deaf ears. You have all this energy, but nowhere, you're not putting it into anything or anyone. And I mean, I know that's not true for all of you, but the message stands. It's like you could be doing so much more with that in honoring yourself and your gifts. Give me one more about that. What is the Knight of Wands headed to? Make sure you go out and have fun. And I know it's tricky right now. There's like a lot going on, right? Some of you are being asked to follow your heart. You may need to express your passion to a water sign who there's a, please don't be offended by this. It's not a criticism. There's something more mature about this water sign. It could be that they're looking for exclusivity or commitment, or they're looking for marriage. If that's the case, it seems like you are kind of the one like I like them, but I don't feel ready. I feel like there's an on again, off again thing here for a lot of you. If you were to look at this closely, and again, please use your intuition to separate if this is your message or not. For a lot of you, I think Spirit is saying, I know this scares you a little bit, but if you were to really kind of further dissect the reasons why it scares you, it's because a lot of you have never felt this passionate or this. There's something very comfortable and easy about this, and because it's relatively easy, a lot of you are running from it like, well, that can't be true. Like almost too good to be true vibes. I think there's a water sign, especially a male water sign, who has a lot of love for you, Aries, but you can reverse the roles, but I do feel like you've sort of been playing hard to get. So granted, I didn't mean to make this a couples reading, but it already is coming through. So just know that in advance. So I'm hoping you didn't skip this part, right? But how can you love yourself more? Go towards those who offer you true, authentic, romantic love. Go to people who have a lot to offer you, right? Don't settle for small offers or small peanuts. And I think it's saying no matter who or what this is, don't run away from commitments that seem very intense or a little bit intimidating because they are new. I know my Aries aren't typically people who run scared from new opportunities. Sure, maybe some of you, but generally that's not something I associate with Aries because you guys, by nature in the zodiac, you're the trailblazers. You're the first. You're the start. So more often than not, you guys do tend to take the lead, even, subconsciously, right? And maybe that's how this got started. Maybe you took the lead in this relationship and then this person caught feelings for you. I don't know why. I just get vibes that this is a real offer. This looks really good. And there's something about it where universe is trying to get you to at least examine it further. And further in terms of what it could offer you. And as I always say, you have free will. You don't have to take this message. It might not be your message. Doesn't mean it won't be in the future. But I see a lot of you either having commitment issues or you're getting cold feet. My hot, sexy fire sign's getting cold feet. That doesn't sound right. Give me a one on this, please. That's ironic of all the messages of how can you love yourself. It's like, go to the one who loves you. So I'm even going to offer this. If this isn't romantic, if there's a water sign in your life who has been just a wonderful collaborator, or it could even be a parent, someone who always has your back, a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, there would be something valuable of you spending time with them. Because here's the thing, I think this person reminds you how great you are. And it's not in this superficial way, but I do think some of you may have not abused it. What is the word? Help me out here, Spirit. Taken it for granted. And again, I'm not coming down on you. I'm saying that this may be a relationship, it's always been in your life. And so you don't look at it as, oh, well, thank God that I've been blessed with this great relationship. Because, it could be your mother, it could be your cousin, it could be your best friend. There's something about being around this water sign. It's very healing for you in a way that I just keep getting, it breaks down the superficiality of past relationships. So and again, if this is a new message, you have a wise mentor type water sign who's going to offer you some pearls of wisdom. Could be a Cancer, the pearls. It could be a grandmother. It could even be a spirit guide, right? That wasn't my first inclination, but hey, if that means something to you, by all means. Yeah, there's a water sign who offers you really good advice or guidance. And a lot of you, if you have been on the fence about committing to this water sign or again, engaging further with them, marriage, long-term, moving in, whatever, you're going to surprise yourself. It says venture down the rabbit hole. I love that. That's exactly what the message is. And again, because this is self-focused, how can you love yourself more? Go to what makes you happy, what lights your fire, whether that is a person or an activity or a job or an environment, a space, a hobby. Go towards what you love, what fills your cup, what makes your heart sing. That is good medicine for you in the month of February. All right, let's talk about what do you positively contribute in relationships? This is like aces. What are you doing right? This is you're very social, you're very friendly. People naturally like your energy. This is what you're doing right. So let's give Aries a little high five, a pat on the back. You take people at their word. If somebody says, I'm not interested, you tend to be like, okay, you move on. You move on relatively quickly, but you also, and I don't mean to make this negative, you also internalize it though sometimes too. So a lot of you may be working on that. And I think that's really what this message is, because I see it teetering on sometimes you are too hard on yourself. Sometimes you, I'm feeling like you get annoyed with yourself, or you're very self-reflexive, but in a way that it's sorry. I can feel it and I can see it, but I am not expressing it well. You beat yourself up a lot. And so here's the thing. I think you have no problem severing it off from someone who doesn't match your vibe, or someone who doesn't raise your vibration, someone who maybe doesn't treat you great, or just they have nothing to offer, right? You have no problem taking the action, fire signs, away from them. It's what you do when you're alone after that. You start really reprimanding yourself or beating yourself up about, I'm never the one and I'm never good enough. Or the opposite, I shouldn't have wasted my time with them. I always fall for losers. Here's the thing. It's coming up in positive attributes. So not all is lost here. If anything, it's saying you guys are good at understanding boundaries, cutting things off that aren't working for you. But then the aftermath of that, you do need to work on about not making it, again, not beating yourself up about it. There's a phrase I'm wanting to use and it's just not coming to me, but I hope you guys understand the message there. There is another message, like this is all over the place. This is such like I know it's contradictory, but I have to have faith it's going to land for some of you. There's also a message here of, you have no problem moving on, but then afterwards you're very conflicted, but you would never let that person know. That's another message. And then there's another message here too of you have no problem severing it off because you know that there's a lot of competition for your attention. You know there's other suitors out there, but some of you always feel like you pick the one that you can't have. And Spirit is saying, trust that this is happening for a reason. To not romanticize the past or wear rose-tinted glasses, because ultimately, if you were so quick to just sever it, there must be some sort of internal truth or gut reaction of you feeling like, well, it's not the one, it couldn't be the one. Unless you're playing hard to get, which again, I would not advise, because that's what this whole message is about. Venture down the rabbit hole. The one that feels right, the one that treats you right, they're worth the second look. The one who constantly keeps you in your head and I do this, but they don't reciprocate, or when I do this, they don't react that way. That's the one I think you need to get out of like this dangerous mental zone with. I think it's very positive too that you provide clarity and peace of mind to other people, but unfortunately you attract people who don't do the same for you. That's a very important message. What you offer to other people, yeah, this is cool. When someone's having a rough day, they can come to you, and I'm almost seeing you as like a football coach. You're like, come on, kid, get it together. We're going to get in there, we're going to do this, and we're like, you show them the game plan on how to move on from the struggles that they're facing, and it's almost like you reinvigorate them, right? You take that spark, that magic, that fire, and it's like you pass it on to them, and they're like, okay, I can do this. Almost like a life coach, right? In metaphor, right? In any relationship, familial, romantic, whatever, your best friend, you have this ability to help people get out of the rough waters and onto smooth sailing. You give them mental clarity, or again, you give them this nudge that it allows them to like get back in the game, to keep fighting. Unfortunately, you're not practicing that enough with yourself, because I don't think you're hanging out with your therapist. I don't think you're hanging out with your person. And I say therapist half jokingly. You need to have someone you can unwind with and be vulnerable with and let your hair down and not, there's a fear of showing your scars and not appear, I don't know if it's buttoned up or perfect. I don't think that's the right word, but who's your person that you can go to at the end of the day and unwind with? You guys seem to, whether you choose them or you just happen to circumstantially end up with them, you end up with people who add more chaos and clutter and confusion to your life. So a lot of you are following the gut instinct that it is time to move on from the people who they dismantle things. It's like just when everything feels good, you get into this new relationship and you're like, oh, hell in a handbasket again, something like that. A lot of you know that you need to sever ties with the people who, again, they bring like, I'm getting waves and I'm getting crashes. People who bring thunderstorms to your life, you need to like beeline it to the other side of the room or move on from people who, they don't offer you anything but confusion. Those are not the relationships for you. I know there's something fun about it. I think there's something very playful in the way you guys interact. It feels, you love the thrill of the chase, don't you? But you also get offended when they don't chase you. So there are some mixed signals going on there. I'm going to be honest, Aries, I'm a little bit confused by this message too. So give me one more, Spirit. What does Aries positively contribute? Actually, let's do this stuff. What does Aries positively contribute in relationships? We're giving them pats on the back here. And yet I feel like I gave you a lot of guidance of what you need to continue moving towards as well. So one more. Find your inner peace. Find your zen. Create a cozy little space that is all your own where you can really unwind and relax. So if it's not a person, make sure there's a space you can do that with. But I also think it's encouraging you to hang out with those who are good for your mental health. And a lot of you are doing that already. Universe says keep doing that. And if you're not, that's something you need to work towards. All right. So where is there room for growth? What does Aries need to do in terms of, well, self-improvement, right? We're always growing and evolving as spiritual beings. So what are some words of wisdom for Aries in terms of where they need to focus more attention on, right? If we're looking at strengths, maybe this is like weaknesses, right? Cutting people off who are a drain of your energy. Absolutely. That's what I was getting before too. I'm almost getting the idea of voodoo dolls too, so watch that. You know, I'm Aries. You're really gonna make me go down there. I'm not a fan of black magic and people practicing that. You know, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I would just be real careful with that. For others of you, that's more of a metaphor of, again, even though it's like, that's it, I'm moving on, I don't need you, you don't treat me right. Even though you're not speaking to them, you're all up in your head about it. And I think that's sort of what the idea of like the pin cushion with the pins through it. You need to work on like removing the pins. So removing the toxic negative energy tied to a relationship that didn't work out. Ultimately, you can just chalk it up to, okay, that was temporary. That was a lesson. Clearly that wasn't my person. So I do get this idea of you're punishing yourself. You're beating yourself up about this thing because I don't know if you felt like you acted in haste or, again, like shoulda, coulda, woulda stuff. Ultimately, I think universe is saying, water under the bridge, let's start fresh. So if this has to do with the first message that came out in your tarot spread where the Fool came up, like maybe someone wants a fresh start with you, if you actually want a fresh start with that person, you have to operate as if you have no romantic history together. And that's hard, right? Especially if someone didn't treat you right. This is saying to me right now, again, this is a monthly reading, right? Month of February. If you have an ex that comes knocking back to you, I don't think you are at a, don't shoot the messenger, spiritually mature enough place to take them back because you're still holding on to a lot of resentment of what, well, you didn't treat me better. It's almost like you're luring them in and you get what you want and that I think an ex comes back. But if you're thinking it's just going to start and be miraculous and wonderful and fireworks and again, immediately like honeymoon stage of the relationship, it's not. But here's the thing, Aries, it's on your end because I think there's a lot of things about that relationship you were willing to forgive if they came back to you. But now that once they're back in their life, you kind of have this laundry list of all the things they did wrong. I know. I am not making you out to be the bad guy. If any of that resonates, that's what you're being asked to work on. If you're going to start a relationship with someone from your past, you know, you can't have the laundry list, right? You can't be holding things over their head. You truly have to be like, okay, we're ripping out the previous chapters. This is a clean slate, right? This is a blank page. Let's start writing our story together. And that's hard. I'm not saying that's easy. And I'm also saying you don't have to do that, right? If you truly have a laundry list of all the things this person did wrong, maybe that's a sign that they're not the one, right? I mean, give yourself the benefit of the doubt that there may be someone else coming in for you. We're going to talk about that in a second, but I see you holding grudges against people. Even if it's not romantic, you need to work on that. And I mean, that doesn't surprise me. You guys are ruled by Mars. Mars is feisty and fun and sexy and passionate, but it's also the warrior planet. It's the planet of wrath and anger. You guys may need to work on that, okay? Give me one more. Especially with an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you may be having a rough go at that. Especially a male Libra or a female air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah, a lot of you are at a crossroads of do I stay or do I go? Like the Clash song, should I stay or should I go now? I think you would be settling. Oh, Aries, I said it. I'm sorry. I know that hurts. Here's the thing. That's not surprising to you, especially my female Aries out there. You guys already know the writing is on the wall here. I think there's a part of you. This is actually really cute the way it's being relayed to me. It's like the fantasy. You like to go into fantasy land and think about, oh, well, it would be so good if they did this and if we could do that together. And like, but you very quickly come out of that and you come back to like reality. I just heard ground zero and you're like, oh, but that's not who they are. Like they're not capable of doing that. I think again, female Aries, you know, whether you are in a same-sex couple or whatever, my female Aries, you seem to be entertaining something that the writing is on the wall, and deep down I think you know, yeah, like this just isn't the one. I think the attention is nice. I think there's some chemistry there, right, that kept you there, but it seems like you guys have been through a lot, and this person comes back with empty promises. I think this person likes to tell you what you want to hear, but fire! You are all about the action. Don't tell me your words. Show me your progress. Show me your action, right? Proof is in the pudding. This person is very much an air sign. They talk a big game. They have, even like someone who has Pisces or kind of Neptune in their chart, like they have this fantasy of how great your life could be together. And there's a lot of like, you know, someday, baby, I'm going to do it and blah, 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 blah. And again, I'm not trying to hate on your person, but there's a lot of I'm gonna, and you're like, but when? And that seems to be a karmic relationship that keeps repeating itself, or again, it's repeating itself in different romantic suitors of yours. You fall for people who are projects, and that's tricky, right? I feel for you. And so I know it's so easy to be like, yes, I've attracted narcissists, this and that and that. And like, it's so easy to tear someone else down. But I'm going to offer you this, Aries. It's a very quick fix to not wanting to do the internal work and understand something about me and in my spiritual path currently essentially invited that in. Maybe not consciously, but you're really being asked to do the internal work. Instead of pointing the finger of what everyone else is doing wrong, it's not to say you're doing something wrong, but it's saying you could be doing something a lot better. You need to work on that. And again, for a lot of you, it stems from anger or resentment issues. And maybe that's been a pattern that's carried throughout your family history, right? Maybe it's like family karma or ancestral karma, right? Maybe you have... Again, I don't mean to make it a gender thing, but ultimately that's sort of what I'm hearing, so I'm going to honor that. Maybe you come from a long line of women who settled in marriage, and even though they chose to stay in that marriage, they weren't happy, and there was a lot of, you know, I've settled. Like, I live with this person, but I have no love for them. And maybe that was what you saw in your parents' relationship, and it kind of messed you up a little bit, right? You have the power to change that, Aries. Maybe it all stops with you, right? Maybe you're going to rewrite the history books of your family ancestry, right? Again, this so works for me because your advice of how do I love myself more, make sure there is passion behind what you do and who you go towards, but not only that, so substance in terms of the love that they offer. This Eight of Pentacles, it's like we could make it work, but I don't think either of you are excited to do the work, and that might be a sign that Queen of Swords, you may need to bring the hammer down. You may need to bring the sword down. It's okay to cut it and recognize, I like you, but I don't think I see you being in my future long term. I just keep wanting to say you need to stop settling. Neither of these people look passionate. It looks like they just had a very sexual encounter, and afterwards it like fizzles. It's like there's a lot of unspoken words between you, and the thing is, that female intuition is right on point. It's not to say this won't resonate for some of my male Aries out there, but it's like the female in this knows, like, this isn't my person, but I don't want to break it to them, or I don't want to admit that I made the same mistake twice. I don't want to admit that when I went back to my ex and my intuition said, don't do it, I did it anyway and I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and now I don't want to eat my words again. It's not about that. Check the ego, because you need to go towards what makes you happy. You're doing some cutting. You're doing some trimming of people who you're allowing energetically into your life, Aries. Areas for work, right? Areas for improvement. So let's wrap it up with who's coming in. Are you excited, Aries? Who's coming in? That came right out. King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Possibly a male earth sign. Could be new. They're coming in as a king, so I'm going to say that. I like that. It could even be someone who at one point in time was a husband or was a father. Doesn't mean to you. This could be an ex, right? Or I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Yes, it could be your ex. That's not the main message. This could be someone who was married previously and has been divorced. Maybe that's what this represents, right? And now they're ready to start a new relationship. So yeah, you may catch someone who is a divorcee, however you say it. They may also have a teenage daughter. That's not for everyone, right? It's just one thing coming in. You may have another Aries coming in. So I think there's an Aries who's already watching you, Aries. There's 2 messages here, so. Yeah, your ex is still watching you. Sorry, I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's true. For some of you, right? You know. Matthew. Is there a Matthew? I never get names, but I just heard Matt. Matthew. That's very interesting. Okay, anyway. Okay, 2 messages here. There is okay. I'm not going to make this a gender thing, but again, just give me this one more time and then I'm going to talk about the males. My female Aries, whether your ex is male or female, especially if they are an Aries, they're watching you and they're picking their moment to come in because they know that you're entertaining offers from other people. So they're watching and keeping an eye on you, but they would never tell you this. They're watching you on social media or whatever, and they're feeding into your plan because some of you flat out know that they're doing this, but they think they're being all secretive. They're not that secretive, but they're watching and they're picking their moments because they are going to eventually try and come in, but it's like they fear being in competition for your love, so they're trying to wait at a point where they know that you're single. And whether you're single or not, there's something about your current situation, whatever they're seeing on social media or however they're watching you, they seem to be confused on if you're single or taken. So that's something coming in. It doesn't have the greatest vibe, but you know, it has 5 of Cups to it, so that says it's not brand new. There's already been a sense of loss or defeat. Unless, of course, I suppose I could view it as you have an Aries looking at you who maybe they're just sad because they can't come in because you're already involved with the Pisces. That could be something. Now, for others of you, okay, for my male Aries, again, whether you are interested in male or females, for my masculine Aries out there, there's a message here that there's someone who I think is in the friend zone with you, but you do like them. You kind of have feelings for them. There's maybe some flirtation between you. They seem to constantly choose the wrong people. So this may be a cross-watcher thing, right? They're kind of engaged with and I don't mean engaged. They're kind of flirting with another person, but they're constantly disappointed. Eventually that's going to end and you may actually stand a chance with this person. That's for my males out there. So yeah, I know majority of you are my ladies out there, so you can take this message if you want, but what I get from this is, especially male-female dynamics, it doesn't have to be, but again, the main message coming through, there is a male Aries who has a crush on their best friend, but their best friend is dating someone else. But the thing is, your intuition is right. That relationship is always on the rocks. It's like they break up, then they're together. They break up, then they're together. Yeah, that's going to keep happening. If you are patient, eventually this female is going to come in and you're going to get your wish fulfillment, your 9 of Cups. So that looks good for my male Aries. You're practicing patience and a sense of calm, right? Not ramming your way in there just to, whatever. When you practice patience, you get rewarded in the end. Yeah, that looks good. So let's do one more message. Who or what is coming in for Aries? I feel like this has been a long one. Anything else? Who or what is coming in for Aries romantically? I just heard some of you are like, what about the Leo? All right, what about the Leo? I mean, your card came up. They're thinking about you. Again, though, there's 2 Aries here. So you may be dealing with one now, but some of you have an Aries coming in. 2 Aries. Whew. What about the Leo, though? Spirit says, what about the Aries? The Aries could be very, very good for you. There's also love offers being made to a Sagittarius or vice versa. A Sagittarius may be making one to you. That looks good. Fire, guys. All right, I'll ask about the Leo, but they didn't come up, so that may be a sign in itself. What's the deal with the Leo? I just heard somebody asking. The Leo's confused. They may have walked away temporarily. They may be trying to get over you. But it doesn't mean they don't still have love in their heart for you. So right now, again, month of February, I think the Leo is confused about their emotions with you, or they're confused about where you stand. I think they're trying their damnedest to not think about you, but they still kind of do. That doesn't seem to be going anywhere in the month of February, but it's not to say it couldn't pan out eventually. You'll probably hear from them again, if there's substance there. All right. Yeah, I like anytime I see a Knight of Cups, that means love offers are coming in. So something Aries to Sag, Sag to Aries. It could be, two Aries, something about that. It would be a blending of nice cups, a blending of love. It would be something spiritually healing, right? And so again, if you guys have a toxic ex who's a Sag or an Aries, they might be coming back, but this could be something new too. So don't shut off your possibilities there, okay? Yeah, Oracle cards. Here we go. What wants to come in to Aries? Bottom of this deck says courage. When picking roses, don't fear the thorns. Maybe it's saying forgiveness too. Again, not holding on to that resentment. I almost see pins in a pin cushion again. I don't know if some of y'all are sewing, but I almost see it as like this mock voodoo doll. And I don't think that's literal for most of you. I certainly hope it's not, catch more bees with honey. Yeah, the whole voodoo doll thing, I'm not even going to go into that, Aries. Aries, you know better than that. Anyway, I think that's a metaphor of letting go of resentment and almost like the idea of someone holding it in and suffocating their emotions. It's like pull the pins out. Let the wounds heal. There's a very important message there for some of you. All right. This deck is not speaking. Here we go. Awakening. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being. Integration. Like that. That looks peaceful. That looks like a spiritual awakening to me, Aries. And then let's play you finally, I'm using these cards. Love oracles. What wants to come out for Aries? Let's just do one. Yoko Ono. Love it. Yes is always the answer. Love is performance art that takes place among the clouds. Love is not a dream. You can remember it if you want to. Wise words from Yoko Ono. All right, Aries, remember to like, share, subscribe. I will see you next Tuesday for more tarot readings. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye, guys.